Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelorette Recap, a Guy's Review. In this video, I'm going to play a clip with Thomas Jacobs in his conversation with Grocery Store Joe and Tayshia Adams. We're going to get some clues as to his train of thought by being on the season of The Bachelorette, and we're going to debunk this whole villain thing. He's not a villain, he's just like everyone else, but of course he was painted as this big villain, big, angry, scary guy, and he just stoically stood there kind of like an idiot, not realizing how much people didn't like him. You know, it's like he was a threat. He was a tall, good-looking, strong, muscular man, and he had to go, and the guys voted him out. And until I have any other evidence to prove otherwise, that's where I'm at with that. Now, if you like this video or the content that I make in general, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I've got a brand new Patreon that's out, patreon.com/Dave Neal, answering some of your questions about how I got into Bachelor recaps, my relationship with my fiance, whatever questions you guys asked, I gave you answers. You can go over to patreon.com/Dave Neal to listen to that now. We have a Patreon live stream tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday morning. Now, let's get into this. So yesterday I made a video where Thomas, someone had done some detective work to see that a plant in the back of his video when he Skyped into the Men Tell All was actually the same plant that Becca Kufrin had. And they're saying, oh, well, maybe he's with Becca. Maybe they're in a relationship, in a secret relationship somewhere. And then this is his tweet after that to debunk that. Thomas sets the speculation straight. He just has good, similar style to Becca. All right, so Thomas has similar style to Becca. We're still not sure if we believe that. He said, hope y'all like my interior decorating style more in this part of my home. Fun fact, I actually own 2 blanket ladders. So let's go to this next clip here. This is Thomas showing off his place, which actually his style is really nice. I mean, that's great style. Everyone in the comment section was like, dang, this guy's got style. But what we don't see is the actual set that he had.
Glimpse inside of what it looks like.
A glimpse inside of what it looks like. So we don't get to see the background. So here's what people commented. But where's the blanket ladder? Still not the same. Where's the plant and ladder blanket in the video? I don't see that tree or ladder with a blanket. So the question being, just because they have similar styles and he might have the same sort of or similar setup, we don't really have evidence that he wasn't with Becca. Now, I understand we're kind of like taking a giant leap to conclusions. We don't do that on Bachelor Nation. We sure do. We jump from A to Z. We just skip all the letters on the way. All right, so any more comments there? So where's the ladder, the blanket, and the tall tree? Now, one of the places from the MTA interview. This is all true. But actually, this is fire style. The man has got some nice style. Not going to lie, I like it. But, sir, where is the blanket and ladder? All right, so now we're wondering where the blanket and ladder is. We don't have answers. Was about to say the same, waiting for the shipment to come in. In case, okay, well, here we go. If I gave you it all, it wouldn't be nearly as much fun for any of us. And then here he is showing a little shrine that he created for himself up top here. With his own headshot. Gotta love it. And there's a blanket ladder right there. So people were really invested in that. Wow, he has great style. They're really invested in this sort of blanket gate that we have there. And I think that's it. So let's play this clip of him talking with Tayshia and Grocery Store Joe here, clearing up his Men Tell All absence, why he wasn't there. We can all believe what we want to believe. Maybe he's with Becca. Well, the truth will come out if they're still together or not.
Thomas, let's clear up the air. Let's talk about the elephant in the room because we already know this is going to be clickbait. You were not physically at Men Tell All. Do you mind sharing with us why you weren't there?
Yes,
Yeah,
please
absolutely.
share this, Thomas.
It was something I wholeheartedly wanted to be there. And unfortunately, with last second scheduling and having to go there, spend a couple days in Los Angeles and really be pulled away from the things I had here going on at home in my life and with my businesses, I couldn't physically be there. However, I'm so thankful I had a chance to actually call in and at least have that dialogue with Katie. So that's something.
I have to say this. If he's putting his real business and his real work ahead of Bachelor Men Tell All, good for you. This is the least villain thing ever. This is a guy who's not suckling on the teat of Bachelor Nation. Looking at you, Grocery Store Joe, you one-hit wonder. I'm kidding. We love you guys. Come on, we're all having fun, right?
Something that I've been wanting to have since we finished filming in New Mexico. So although it wasn't perfect, in life we have to adapt. And I'm just fortunate and thankful I got to actually spend that time.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to lie, Thomas. You dodged a bullet. Your name was probably said about, I don't know if I had a count, close to 50 times that evening. And it would have been an interesting conversation having you there. But I'm glad you were able to at least come in video chat wise. It was good.
Yeah. And as far as dodging the bullet, it's like, yeah, I get it. I was a topic of conversation a lot on the season. And that's one of the main things I wanted to apologize to Katie about, because there was so much dialogue about me. Like, it's like, come on, guys, like, focus on her. This is her journey. This is your relationships. I don't care how you feel about me. You shouldn't care how you feel about me. Just go and pursue the girl. I mean, the reason why we were all there was for Katie. So I was a little taken aback that I was brought up so much as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, Katie looks happy. She seems to be happy, and it worked out for her. So I'm glad to hear that for her.
He needs better
lighting.
lighting.
Do you feel like you owe the guys on the show anything?
I don't owe the guys there anything. And I don't think any person going in as an actual cast member owes the other guys really much, because we're not there to necessarily make friends. That's an amazing byproduct of that experience. We are there to see if we can find love. And I think that's one of the things that I went in with a mindset of, and it ended up turning into something that it wasn't. Because if you look, it was very apparent. I was almost on the outside looking in when it came to the romance between the men. And I was so purely focused in on Katie. And that set in motion a lot of things that ended up transpiring in a way that I wouldn't want. One of them, not necessarily being close to the guys in the house, which allowed a lot of that to circulate, which is entirely on me. And then two, having that isolated mindset, it really put me in a position where my own personal feelings, feeling like I was just there for her and on the outside, escalated what I was going through internally more so than it would have in a normal situation. And that's something where in hindsight, I wish could have been different. However, that's how I approached it. I was honest to myself, and I can't change any of that now.
With all that being said, do you have any regrets about your time on the show?
My one regret is exactly what I shared with Katie at the mental health. It was the fact that I put her in a position where I spoke any sort of doubt in who she was, who she is, and what she has to do being there. And I strongly believe that Katie's time being Bachelorette is in the midst of the most volatile era of any Bachelorette this franchise has seen. And she was going in, I know that's a bold statement, but I'm going to stand by it because
I know, I was just going to say that's a lot. What does that mean?
Yeah, no offense to you, Keisha. I know you had to do something similar as far as like the bubble environment and coming straight off of COVID and trying to really navigate your way. But when you have that and you add in the fact that this is the first time we've been fortunate enough to have people like you and Caitlin be hosts. And it's the
essentially he's saying Katie Thurston had to follow Matt James' season where Chris Harrison was fired and all these issues. She's following a train wreck. I mean, let's be honest. Her season's following a train wreck.
First time of really trying to find a new identity, both with Katie as the Bachelorette and then the franchise moving forward. I think she handled herself tremendously and the best that she could. And the fact that I spoke any sort of doubt in that, that's something that was completely unfair and something that I do regret, because that's not a place where we could have any room for that. And that's what I really wanted to share with Katie, and that's why I'm glad I got to talk to her at the mental health. I'm looking at Joe's face. What you got for me, Joe?
No, I don't share.
I don't necessarily agree with her coming in at the roughest time, and I think that's okay that that's the way you think. I just don't really agree with that, but I understand where you're coming from. I guess, okay, so I do want to talk, we'll just brush over this real quick.
Joe, if you don't agree with him, then find a time in Bachelor Nation where social media, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, what? Right? I mean, look, you could say Matt James came in at a rough time, of course, but what Bachelor Nation, like how divided we all are, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying what a dumpster fire of a season, right? So then Katie's got to follow the dumpster fire. What season has been more of a dumpster fire during a global pandemic where everyone's going over it, crossing I's and dotting T's? I know I'm messing it up. What season would have higher levels of controversy? I mean, sure, like maybe you could say Rachel Lindsay's season, of course, the first Black Bachelorette, Matt James, obviously, but we're talking about the first season that Chris Harrison's not on board. The first season that's like people are boycotting for a big reason, you know, like there's a lot of cogs in the machine here.
Because everyone's talked about it a million times, but I do want to just go real quick with it. You saying that I, of course, considered being the Bachelor. Is pretty much what you said, right?
Yep.
Do you regret? And that was what the guys clinged on to. It seems like that's what villainized you. I personally think you were just being honest. I don't have an issue with it, but is that something that you regret?
No, because if they ask me a direct question, is the thought of being the Bachelor or anything that crossed your minds, like, I'm not going to lie to them, and I'm damn sure not going to lie to myself. Because at the end of the day, when people are on that show, they need to live with their truth. And for me, I was living in my truth, and that's all we can do as people. And it was an honest fact. Yes, at some point in my life, I thought there was a possibility being on a show like this, you could become the Bachelor. And I also thought you can fall in love. What I didn't think is you could become the villain, which was my biggest mistake.
Gotcha.
That's a good way to end it. Gotcha, bitch. What do we think about Thomas? I mean, he seems like like I said before about being a useful idiot. It feels just like he didn't understand the politics of the show. It's like somebody who gets into speaking of politics, it's like if a politician votes no against a bill. Like, say there's a bill that's coming into, to the vote, and it's got all this pork in it, and it's got all these stupid things, but it's like a Medicare for all bill, but it's like not the right one. And say you vote no on it because you want something better. Now everyone says, oh, this politician voted no on this, and it's like, yeah, but with a reason. There's something better that we're neglecting, or this has the, sends profits to the billionaire class, or whatever it might be. It's complicated, right? So for Thomas, the easy, honest answer is, yeah, I'd consider being the Bachelor. I'd also consider falling in love with Katie. I mean, whichever one would work. And they go, ha, we gotcha. It's a gotcha. That's what they do. So a lot of times there'll be questions asked of politicians in bad faith, knowing that they're going to get you, even though your explanation of it all makes complete sense. It's like how Bernie Sanders would compliment the education system in Cuba. Everyone says, "Oh, Bernie Sanders is a communist." No, he just very specifically said that they did one thing that worked. Now, they did a lot of things that didn't work, but it's like banana land that we can't have. So it's banana land to me that we still have the simpleton mindset, this minion mindset, where people go, oh, you're here for all the wrong reasons. It's just like, it doesn't everything boil down to being here, where everyone's doing everything for self-preservation. I want to do well on my YouTube channel so I can get a paycheck, so I can support my family and have an emergency fund, so in case something bad happens, I can afford it. I'm not trying to get myself canceled. I'm trying to protect my assets, my family, my friends. I'm trying to do all these things that we're all trying to do. Thomas goes on the show. Sure, he's trying to fall in love, but also he's like, yeah, I mean, if I got dumped and whatever didn't work out, yeah, I would be considered. Yeah, it's like, listen, you can't do that. You're not in HR. You're not in a confidential place. So he just didn't play the game. He just didn't play the game, and that's what he's guilty of. And we're gonna see him on Bachelor in Paradise. And I'm excited to see outside of Thomas. That's probably why they cast him on the show in the first place, because they saw a guy that had leading man potential. So he had, and again, I don't even know what his businesses are, but he was too busy with his businesses to go fly to LA to have a bunch of guys yell at him and take his words out of context and twist him. So he said, you know what? I'm just going to stick around here with my bamboo towel rack and do my own businesses. And clearly he's living a good life. So we'll have to see how it all goes. Is it too late for Thomas to become Bachelor? I don't think so. I don't think it's too late for Thomas to become Bachelor. We'll see how he's received on Bachelor in Paradise. I think Bachelor in Paradise gives people a fairer shot at communication, but as we know with Blake Horstman, there's plenty of examples of Bachelor in Paradise not going well. Looking at you, Leo, you know what I mean? Like plenty of times where you weren't the villain, then you went to Bachelor Nation and you became one. So I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm excited to watch starting August 16th. We'll get into all of it. Again, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. And I'm not being hard on Grocery Store Joe or Tasha. I'm just watching it going like, you can tell, like, look, I'm a podcaster. I get it. You can tell when Tasha's like talking and she doesn't know where she's going with something. That's what happens when you make content, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate what they're doing and all that. For Grocery Store Joe to not really believe Thomas, he just didn't provide any insight. It's like improv, yes and. So like yes and doesn't mean like you're going to agree with someone. It means you're going to further the conversation along. So if someone says, I'm a banana, you don't go, you're not a banana. You go, you're a banana, I'm a pineapple. We're in a fruit bowl, baby. You know what I mean? That's improv. Versus Thomas being like, it wasn't the best, it was a controversial season. And Grocery Store Joe goes, I don't agree with you. But he didn't include any in. I don't agree with you. I think Rachel's, so just kind of like, you know, the hosts are supposed to be furthering along the conversation, and it felt like that was the exact opposite thing happening. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical and too in the weeds. I think they're learning on the fly and working on it, so I give them grace and all that, and here I am alone in my office, so what do I know? What do I know, folks? I know this. You guys are still watching, so hit that like button, subscribe on the way out if you haven't already, and this might be it for me today. Make sure to call me. I'm doing a voicemail video. If anyone wants to, let me pick up the voicemail number right now, 401-213-9828. If you want to call the voicemail number, I'll have a video up this weekend playing all your voicemails. Ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll play your voicemail as long as it's not too long and wordy. Sometimes people yap. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get 5 voicemails in a row from somebody, and I'm like, you think I'm going to play all this? This is the length of a Seinfeld episode. All right, folks, let me know what you guys think. We'll talk to you later. Bye now. Happy Friday.